Where is Bitcoin heading over the next couple of weeks? Here is a list of key things that have hit the market this week. The biggest IPO in history was released earlier this week. SpaceX is officially listed on Nasdaq, raising 75 billion, and it's been one of the main reasons why the crypto market has been dropping over the last couple of weeks. And guess what? Did you know SpaceX is actually holding 18,000 Bitcoin on its balance sheet? Every single person who bought SpaceX has got indirect Bitcoin exposure, whether they know it or not. Secondly, ETFs recorded the worst outflow streak ever, with roughly 4.4 billion drained in 13 consecutive days. And last but not least, the Feds have pushed the rate cut to potentially 2027. Now, in this video, what I'll be doing is breaking down where I believe Bitcoin will be heading and all the possible scenarios and where I will personally begin to start buying. Now, before we kick off, remember to smash that subscribe button, follow if you want to see weekly crypto market breakdowns every Sunday. Now, the market this week has been moving quite slowly. However, if we see last week, we can see a big bearish candle to the downside. And this could be because the market was already factoring in the SpaceX IPO launch and other key fundamental points that I mentioned at the beginning of this video, such as the potential rate cut. Now, the market is very, very intelligent like that. So when we do see big news announcements, it normally doesn't react there and then. It reacts before. And that's exactly what we had down here with the SpaceX launch, which actually launched this week. But we had the big move to the downside last week. Now, where am I thinking Bitcoin is heading next over the next couple of weeks? Well, we have a couple of scenarios. My first scenario down here is 71K. You can see I've marked on 71K. Where has that come from? Well, what we can see is this new dealing range from this high to this low, and that is pinpoint 71K. That will tap into the premium side of this new dealing range. So that's my first target on Bitcoin if we move to the upside. We also have this fair value gap down here, and also we have this inverse fair value gap down here in the premium side of the dealing range. So therefore, if we do see BTC moving to the upside on the weekly time frame and on the daily time frame, I am looking at 71K. Now, if we continue moving to the upside, where am I expecting Bitcoin to go? The second scenario is the possibility of Bitcoin coming and taking out these highs down here and tapping in to the 61.8 level, which is roughly around 83,800 Bitcoin. That's where I would like to see Bitcoin head if we continue moving to the upside. And ideally, this would be a great scenario because if we get this move to the upside, I would definitely look for a very, very nice short to the downside for a swing position. So I'll be looking at these two key levels on the weekly and the daily time frame for my swing position entry. Now, scenario number 3 is that we don't get the move to the upside. And actually what would happen is Bitcoin will continue moving to the downside. We've had the first strike at 60K last week. Secondly, if we come back down, where am I expecting Bitcoin to go next? I'm expecting Bitcoin to tap into the 50K, which matches quite nicely to my target level 1 from these highs to this area here, coming into that 50K region level. Now, that is a very high probable possibility because if we look down here, historically, what has Bitcoin always done when we're creating lows? We've always come and swept lows down here. We can see sweep of liquidity. Essentially, what I'd like to see is price come in and sweep liquidity and come into these areas down here. Now, going on the daily time frame. Last week in my video, I mentioned to you that we are in a market maker sell model. Now, if you want to see that video, I've tagged it in the description below, and you can also see it on the top right down here as well. Now, what I'm essentially looking at is this is the complete market maker sell model that has been complete. We've swept liquidity down here. Price has been trickling to the upside, and I'll go on the lower time frame to show you exactly where we are right now. But what we can see on the daily time frame is this move down here? Could there be a possibility that we may just continue consolidating or accumulating for a while? And if we do, I will be looking to utilize and take some positions to the downside and to the upside when we come into those extreme areas of this consolidation mode, with the anticipation that we will break out and I will take some profits whilst I'm in the shorts or the longs, and we'll break up whether to the upside or to the downside. Now, this is the most important bit that you guys need to know about. On the 4 hour, what can we see? Well, on the 4 hour, the most important thing is, especially if you're a scalp trader, what we can see are these two areas down here. And if I put in a fib from this high to this low, price is currently just rejecting off the 61.8, basically at 64,700. Price has swept this liquidity down here. Price has swept the liquidity down here again. And we are currently in this fair value gap. So I can mark this fair value gap on down here. And we also have an order block resting right here. So we can mark these key things on. Now, what am I looking at on the short term? Well, in the short term, there's a possibility that BTC may come and reject this area where we're at right now, or come deeper into this area at the order block of 65,700 to 66,000. And we could look for a short-term move to the downside. Now I'll go on the 1 hour time frame to show you exactly what I'll be looking at to take a short to the downside. But we can also utilize the move to the upside to take scalp positions to the upside. And I am also in a long position on BTC to the upside and Ethereum to the upside as well. Now let's break down the 1 hour time frame. This is very, very good price action, and this is exactly what you want to see as an ICT trader. Price is moving to the upside, and as we move to the upside, it comes back in and rebalances imbalance price action. We can see price coming in, rebalancing price down here. Price comes in, rebalance price down here, and we're slowly moving to the upside. Now, what can we expect? Well, if price does come back down, I want to see all of this liquidity get swept down here. And as price comes back down, if we get a sweep of liquidity, I would like to see a break of market structure to look for a long position. So essentially, what I'd like to see is something like this. Sweep of liquidity, price comes down, breaks market structure down here, pull back, and I will take a long position to the upside down here. So how does that look on the charts? Well, essentially what I'd like to see is something like this. Price comes down, sweeps all of this liquidity, comes back up, break of market structure, moves down, and a move back to the upside. Now that's what I'm looking at on BTC as things stand right now. Now, in terms of when I will begin to start buying Bitcoin and other altcoins is, of course, you guys should already know this, is when BTC comes into the regions of 60 to 50K, ideally to the lower end of this region down here at 50K, I will begin to dollar cost average. Now, if you like these types of videos, remember to smash that like button. I do weekly videos to break down the crypto market, Bitcoin, and I also do any requests if you guys want to request any coins for me to break down as well. Drop any comments below if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next video.